Why use Illustrator? Well, let's check it out. I'm going to demonstrate the advantage of Illustrator by bringing up two files. The first one on your left is in Photoshop, and the second one on your right is in Illustrator. Now, these two files look the same. They're actually icon sets. However, they are actually different file formats. The one on the left in Photoshop is a rasterized file format, which is happens to be PNG. You might also be familiar with JPEGs and GIFs. These are all rasterized images, which means they're made up of little pixels of color. The one on the right is a scalable vector graphic, which is different in that it is made up of vectors, or which is a fancy way of saying lines. It is essentially lines that are colored in, kind of like a coloring book. The advantage of that is you can apply math to scale it up and down. So if you're dealing with like a corporate logo or branding, that corporate logo can be scaled down and still be perfectly shaped and crisp on a business card, and it can be scaled all the way up to a giant, say like billboard or business sign, and still be perfectly crisp. And that is the advantage of Illustrator. So let's look at that here. So if I zoom in on the Illustrator side, you can see this image looks very crisp. And now watch what happens when I click on an area. See the little green line that's coming in? That's actually the path in Illustrator. So I said that it's made of vectors, a scalable vector graphic, and that's exactly what it is. It is just simply points plotted on an X and Y axis to make a line, and you can apply math to that, so you can scale it up and down. Now if I do that same thing in Photoshop, I start zooming in on Photoshop, and we're scaling back in, and now you can see it's starting to get a little jagged, and at this point, if you look carefully, it just completely pixelated. So if you look carefully at the image on the left, you can see the little tiny squares that make up the pixels in different colors, and the one on the right, it is all as if it was rescaled and colored within the line. So that is the advantage of Illustrator. It's a great tool for branding and for using or creating images that you need to scale up and down without without them distorting essentially as they get bigger. Thanks for watching.